We have an Earthquake 5-ton electric splitter, and it seems to have an issue. And it just stalls. So I'm going to go through a quick repair of one of these units and how to get it fixed. The first thing I'm going to do I'm going to take 2 blocks of wood and catch them in here before it comes back to hold that cylinder into position. I need to keep it locked in so it doesn't move. And remember, this thing has got a large spring in it, very dangerous. The operation of repairing this is a little complex. I'm looking for zip ties. Oh, here's a zip tie. So I'm going to take a zip tie and I'm going to zip tie these little pieces of wood in here, only as a safety precaution to make sure that spring. And I've already done all simple checks like the manual talked about, checking the vent, checking the oil. I've done all of that, so I'm going to try to get the oil into the pan. It's going to take it a minute, so we can pause till this is pull this out. Pull that out, it really helps it drain. By the way, even to do maintenance on these, they recommend you change the oil once in a while.
Okay.
So it's my thoughts that the seal or something else inside this unit has failed. I'm going to quickly take it apart and we're going to see what it looks like. So remember that okay, and move a few pieces here. Side. Well, my goal here is I need to remove the cylinder from the unit. So I'm going to need to get me a larger socket. Let's see. Let me take out one and then we'll talk. Oh, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm going to remove the cylinder. I'm starting from the hydraulic end. I'm using hand tools here because this cylinder is attached with some seals and I don't want to damage anything. I like to reuse them if possible. Inspection. I want to make sure that nothing has really gotten into my cylinders and causing me this issue. It looks clean. The rubber's down pretty clean. And so what happens, and I want to show on this unit, this device here, this is actually a load device, and it says right on it, don't adjust. And it's probably good advice because it'll overload the cylinder. This thing has a very powerful motor. It'll overload the cylinder and destroy our seal. So when these units aren't capable of busting the log you're trying to split, don't try to overload them. You'll just end up breaking your seal. Now, the problem is you can't buy a seal. I went to different places looking for seals for these units, and they're not to be found. I contacted the manufacturer, Earthquake, out of Wisconsin, and they don't offer the seal. He told me at the support desk that I might be able to contact a local hydraulic supplier and they might have seals, which I did, and the seals were not available. They had seals that were close, but not close enough. Now, what I ended up having to do was I ended up having to use my 3D printer, and I actually printed a new seal. And I'm going to install it and see if I can get a 3D printed seal to correct the problem. It only took me 12 minutes to print it. I used ABS or something to cut my seal. And the seal, when I printed it, I did print it with a pattern to cut. But it's so tight, I used about a quarter of a mil as a separator in the design. And so it's not quite, it really almost melted together. So I just opened it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the seal back over the O-ring. I wanted to look at the O-ring and make sure it doesn't look harmed, and it looks okay to me. And for sure, this problem with this one is the seal was blown. All right, so a new 3D printed seal is going in it. Now my next job is to get it reassembled. With this setup, it's not too bad. I like to get some of the goop off of these rods because they came, the seals, keep that as handy as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make stuff to do.
Okay.
This is what we hate when we repair things, especially when it's all glued together. So container here that holds the oil was all glued. And I'm trying to knock the end off. There, it came off. And that was a hard way to do it, but it did what I wanted to. Now we're gonna put it back together, but we're gonna align it. Okay. We're going to, now we pull this away a little bit. And I want to show this. This is why we had to pull this end off, because these steel rods have to come through. And there's just no way to get them in position with that end attached. So that's good. We're going to clean up some of this mess in here. Again, however they decided to do this. Someday maybe I'll start printing 3D gaskets for things like this. And they actually make a 3D material, printing material that is a gasket. And I could get away from this silicone stuff. Silicone stuff is, in my opinion, not messy. Just kidding. And it wasn't my goal to have to remove it. That's the oil injector seals. Now, since I 3D printed the new seal for the rod, we're not going to run it at full force. Now this little deal that says do not adjust, well, I have to. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling it out. So I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to return, put one whole turn looser, and it's a 10 millimeter, and I'm going to back it up with my lock nut. That's my adjustment. Now, I've not used the unit since we've rebuilt the seals. I'm going to start the motor. I'm going to cycle. Cycle it 10 times, fully cycled. So we're done with that 10 times cycling. This will be our test log. We're going to start out with a small test log, and we're going to see if we can split it. So this will be our very first time splitting it using new seals. Didn't have a problem. So, end of show. That's it. You guys keep posted. We'll do another video in the future. It's done for now. Thanks for watching.